is loud and filter it through the holy crowd. What would Jesus do today?
Welcome back to Good Morning Church. And we're just going to swing one immediately into our guests for today. We're going to be talking about noise pollution. And it is a topic that is nationwide right now. It's something that we are all talking about. And I think having guests with us who can give us some real insight into that, I think is important. So today we have with us Tamara Chatter. She is the VP of PR at Citizens Against Noise Pollution. And of course, the president is with us as well, Mr. Joey Mirage. Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Lauren. Good
Thank
morning,
you for
Trent. How are
having
you?
us.
Of
Thank
course,
you
it's
for
such a
having us.
pleasure to have you guys here. So let's just get right into it. Tell me something. What is your organization's direct response to the government's recent move to ban events at the Brian Lara Stadium over noise pollution?
Well, we
Tamara,
are
you
in
can.
full support of this decision because for more than a decade we've been having this group. We're now almost at 4,000 people who have reports daily. I mean, it just takes somebody to go onto the group or join the group just to see how often and what types of complaints we have from all types of citizens. We have from all different types of demographics, which is why in particular it's concerning for us. And I mean, we are aware that we need to do a nationwide, education about the topic, because we realize so many people are not aware of what people suffer regarding noise pollution.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. But go ahead, Gary.
Well, I was just wondering, there's so much varying levels of noise, and every report can't be a valid report. So what would you regard as enter into the realms of, all right, we have a problem and we need to do something about it? What level of noise would that be?
Well, I can speak in the case of, let's say, the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, right?
Yeah.
And where you're seeing the comments after this announcement was made on how far the noise travels. And you are seeing people speaking, people are living there, it's miles away. I mean, look where it's situated, it's bush, it's Canefield. We see in constant comments about, and what you're doing is actually painting the complainers of this noise as though they're absolutely crazy,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
You're gaslighting the community that is complaining. We have had reports while these fets are going on, over the years, we're not talking about yesterday, we're talking about over the years, people as far as Gulf View, right? And if you really go to study noise and how it travels and how in cooler air at night it travels even further, when you start to talk about frequencies, bass is the most dangerous that is listed. So when you speak about people, somebody that is constantly talking about noise, as far as Marabella, Gulfview, Koki, if you have an idea of where the stadium is, I am seeing actual TikToks where people are going and taking a aerial view to disprove people's complaints as valid, right?
Simply
So that
based
is
on the stuff.
simply based on it, and you're not taking physics into the law, and how it penetrates, how bass you feel it in your chest when a big truck pass, right? Or a
Yeah.
bar that is next door to you. You feel it in your body,
I
right?
could second that
And
because these high frequencies, though they may be piercing to the air, they will have a short distance that they will travel. You'll have to really amplify and they will still dissipate, but bass, because they have such a longer waveform, they can travel a longer distance. I am totally in agreement with
But
this.
Gary, I'll tell you, this is not happening this is happening solely because of the lack of enforcement. This is years of the lack of enforcement. If these promoters or anybody else really cared and listened to people that have been complaining, because you're seeing comments saying this group just, materialized overnight,
Yeah.
as though we just formed. And the truth is, and this is why I'm thanking you again for having us here, is that the media plays a huge role in where we are today because it is not highlighted. We have sent press releases many, many times that have not been printed. Why? We have a social responsibility in this country that is lacking, right? We did not hear any, usually, like clockwork, we are called for a comment on fireworks every year. We did not get a call this year. Do you know why? The budget. That
Yeah.
took precedent. Everything coming out of the budget took precedent over this serious issue of noise pollution. But do you know when they took note? When they heard a baby died from, and they attributed to the trauma
Yeah.
of fireworks, right? So we have a responsibility. We are interviewing the Fed Promoters Association, the Bar Association, everybody, the last housing minister, but where are we interviewing health professionals, doctors, people that are experts in sound? We're not talking to the real experts on health here and the damage that it is really doing.
Tamara, tell me something though. The Prime Minister stated this was based on one of the largest public consultations ever held. Did the Citizens Against Noise Pollution (TT) contribute to this process? And do you believe that the citizen testimony is being adequately acted upon?
So I don't feel that and to answer your question about the citizens
Yeah.
adequately being focused on, I do not believe so because it has taken 10 years for us to even get here, right? To
Right.
be even having a voice. Yes, they have consulted us and many times through various town halls. We have written to them consistently. We have had a formal appearance before the Joint Select Committee in 2022 as an official stakeholder. And we also had meetings with TTPS superintendents in 2023, chaired by Superintendent Zahir Ali with the Ministry of National Security present. So they have tried listening to us. But again, this is a turning point only if it signals the beginning of consistent nationwide enforcement by the EMA and by the TTPS. And if we were to ask ourselves, honestly, have these organizations been given the tools to do their job? Can we say that? Right? So really, we welcome this. What we are seeing now is that this is a race issue, that this is a culture issue, but I want you all to know that our group has never been politically aligned. We will be aligned with anybody that makes a difference for noise pollution because it is killing our citizenry, absolutely killing us.
One thing is you mentioned culture, and a common counter argument is that loud music is part of our culture. How do you reconcile the need for quiet with these type of cultural expressions? They say that
They
it's
are
it's, it's a seasonal thing. What are your
right.
what are your views?
Well, anybody that could drive down the street at any time in Trinidad and Tobago could know that this is not a seasonal thing. This is all the time. If this was fets were taking place only during carnival season, but it is not. Every month they have some fet somewhere. On top of the fets at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, we have car shows with speakers bigger than the car on the hood,
Sound
right?
off.
Yeah, sound off. Like what in what civilized society can you have these things that destroy an autistic child's, sleep at night? We have videos of people rocking back and forth. You have and you know what? We have a learned helplessness in this country that people that like quiet are usually not the ones that speak out about it, right?
So,
But our base, yes,
sorry
sure,
to
sure,
cut you. I know you was going to
no
say something
problem.
important, but we also have with us Mr. Joey Maharaj, the
Yes.
president of Citizens Against Noise Pollution, and we've been covering so much topics, but I would like to hear from Mr. Maharaj. You know, as the leader, as one of the persons who are at the helm of this, the effects, like what effects does it have on the citizenry when you have an event, sad to say, it might be a gospel event, it might be a religious event, it might be a birthday party, but there was nothing put in place to make sure that the noise levels are kept at a certain point. The time frame was kept. You know, what effects does that have on the citizenry or the neighborhood?
Well, to begin with, I mean, there are limits that are set by the EME. So, for example, the limit beyond 8 p.m. is 65 decibel level, and before that is 85, right? But usually that is not followed anyway
Not at
by
all.
any one of these parties. It is not followed because
No.
you can hear the noise of it. In terms of the effects on people, you can use examples. For example, imagine you are living in a neighborhood where there's autistic children, and the effects that they have or they feel because of this loud music. Some of them actually go on and bang themselves against the wall.
Yeah.
We have testimonials with people saying they had to leave their homes. Another example is, what about heart patients? What about those who have anxiety? Right? Elderly people, all these people are affected in the environs of whatever party or bar is going on there. And these people, alongside testimonials, will write on our Facebook page and send their medical reports, which we have actual proof of. Stress, sleep deprivation. What about the doctors in the area? What about some doctor that has to go to perform some important medical the next day? Can he function? Taxi drivers, teachers. So it impacts everyone in the society. And all these people lives in the neighborhood. And again, we have testimonials from all sorts of people saying the same. So
All right. Well, I have one more question for you, Mr. Maharaj. I wanted to know, because you're speaking about all the persons who the autistic people, the ones, the elderly, the health issues that these families would have. What about the rights of promoters and businesses owners who have to earn a living? How do we balance it with how we balance that with the right of the peace and quiet that families need in your homes? How do we achieve that balance?
well, I think there's where consultation will come in, right, between us and
Right.
the bar owners and the fed promoters. But you can't be going till 2 and 3 in the morning on a Sunday, or even starting feds at 7 in the night, going till 4 in the morning. These Juve feds and these kind of things, right? It affects everyone. So while some people may say, hey, they want to go to these feds, you have to show the effect, or you have to realize that yes, people are wrong, and it's not in usually where these feds are held is places where there are other people around. So you have to be
Sorry,
mindful.
Mr.
One,
Maharaj.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you, but we have to take a quick break and we'll be right back with the conversation about noise pollution with the Citizens Against Noise Pollution TT. This is Good Morning Church.